Ooh, hey, got somebody drop by. Hello, son, how you doing? Are you watching TV again? Or are you excited for Disney Plus Day? Because I'm about to get started in about 30 seconds. Yes, I see you, Hassan. Hello. I'm about to get started soon with discussing Disney Plus Day's announcements. Turn off my phone there. Put it on the wireless charger. Make sure it gets to the exact charging point. Alright, so yeah, you're excited. Yeah, I saw a couple of the announcements earlier today, but I'll get into them in a bit. So, what's up, everybody? Blood Moon Bobby here. So, I'm having a bit of a unexpected stream here because I'm going to be talking about Disney Plus Day, which I know that Disney has been really hyping up Disney Plus Day. What I didn't expect, because I basically just expected that it was going to be a day where they released a whole bunch of content. Like, there's a new animated short that's based on Luca and also Home Sweet Home Alone, which I'm going to review this weekend. But I was actually kind of surprised that, kind of like the investor day they had back in, I think, 2020, they also had a whole string of announcements. Like, this was almost like a Disney version of a Nintendo Direct, just in terms of how much stuff was announced, and they also announced some more details regarding content that they discussed at the previous Disney Investor Day and all of that. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm not going to talk about every single solitary announcement because I don't have much to say about every single little thing, but there were some that caught my eye. Like, I saw announcements regarding Disenchanted, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Ice Age, The Proud Family, and even the Spiderwick Chronicles. Yeah, I was surprised that Disney is working on something that's related to the Spiderwick Chronicles. I'm going to be talking about all that tonight. Let me know in the chat if there is any announcements that you that really caught your eye, and maybe even something that you would like me to talk about. So I'm going to get started here. So it's basically going to be a combination of both things that really captured my interest and also some things that may not necessarily catch my interest, but I could talk about decently enough to warrant a decent argument here. So I'm going to go through some of the tweets that Disney put out here. So gonna try not to watch too many of the videos here because I'm kind of nervous about Disney copyright. There was actually one time, most of the time when I do like a Disney trailer reaction, they don't come after me, but like with a copyright claim. But I remember there was this one time I did a trailer reaction to the Tim Burton Dumbo that got copyright claimed. So I'm gonna be kind of careful with triggering the trailers, if you will. So the first one we'll look at here is an announcement regarding Ice Age. They say here, quote, Ice Age is back and it's coming to Disney Plus. Get ready for a wild prehistoric adventure. Check out the teaser trailer for the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, streaming on January 28th. Admittedly, when I first saw bits and pieces of the trailer, I was like, is this a movie or a show? But you can see here that it is a new movie that's coming to Disney Plus. So just wanted to let you know if you're an Ice Age fan. I know that especially after Blue Sky was shut down, I was kind of curious to see what was going to happen to their franchises. So it just looks like Disney is moving forward. Like, they're still going to use Blue Sky properties like Ice Age. It's just that, unfortunately, Blue Sky Studios itself isn't going to be around for the ride. But in a positive manner, at least they are utilizing the franchises. So we're going to carry on. The next video is of Simon Pegg, like fooling around. Woo, gotta stop that. Next one here is an update on Baymax. So Baymax is getting his own show inspired by Big Hero 6 coming to Disney Plus. Disney Plus says here, quote, "A big hero will rise. Baymax, an original series, is streaming 2022 on Disney Plus." So I remember hearing about this announcement back during Disney's Investor Day in 2020, and they also on that same announcement they also mentioned that they were going to do a series based on Zootopia and one inspired by Princess and the Frog, which we'll get to those announcements tonight. So yeah, so if you're a Big Hero 6 fan, I guess you'll be interested in the new Baymax series. I'm a little curious if the new show is going to tie in with the Big Hero 6 series that was on Disney Channel. I don't know per se. But yeah, there is a new trailer if you want to check that out. Again, I'm not going to go through all the trailers because of copyright concerns, and also if I watch all the trailers, I'm probably going to be here for like quite a long time. So, okay, so moving on to the next announcement. I'm not too familiar. I've heard of this franchise, but I'm not super familiar with this. Let me see if I can get a good zoom in here. Cheaper by the dozen. I remember hearing about the Steve Martin Cheaper by the Dozen, like when that came out years ago. But they're saying Disney is going to be doing their own Cheaper by the Dozen movie coming out in March 2022 on Disney Plus. So so I guess kind of like what they're doing with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, although that's with Diary of a Wimpy Kid they're making an animated movie, but basically Disney is kind of doing like their own version, I guess you could say. So they're taking one of the Fox franchises that they picked up from when they picked up Fox, and yeah, they're doing their own Cheaper by the Dozen movie. Comes out March 2022. So if you're nostalgic for the Steve Martin Cheaper by the Dozen, let me know, because I remember hearing about that movie a lot as a kid, but I never got to see it. And hey, Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey, they're here to discuss Disenchanted. I remember hearing about this movie for a really long time. Man, it's been years since the original Enchanted came out. I think the original came out in, like, I want to say, like, 2007. I'll double check. The cool thing is that Enchanted, the first movie Enchanted, actually has finally come to Disney Plus. I think that was one of the really big things to come out of Disney Plus Day in terms of releases for the Disney Plus streaming services, that film is finally on Disney Plus. So I do recommend you check it out. I remember as a kid, it came out during my kind of phase in my life where I was in that sort of weird phase when I was in middle school thinking, oh, Disney's just for kids or Nintendo's just for kids. But I quickly grew out of that and got that perspective corrected. Yeah, so Enchanted is on Disney Plus. And funny enough, when I first saw Enchanted, it was one of those movies where I didn't really understand satire at the time. So I was like, I don't want to watch Enchanted. But I realized years later it was supposed to be like a satire of the Disney, especially the Disney princess movies. So I realized, oh, okay, so that's why, a lot of the characters, especially characters like Giselle and I think his name is Edward the Prince, are like very over the top. Yeah, the original Enchanted came out in 2007. But now it's a movie that I do appreciate nowadays. I remember actually when the first Enchanted came out on DVD, my dad actually really liked that movie. And for me, it was the movie that introduced me to Amy Adams, and I've enjoyed her acting since. I remember I saw her in the Denis Villeneuve film Arrival recently. So yeah, so it's nice after all these years, Enchanted sequel is finally coming out. When is it coming? Fall 2022. And as the tweet points out, you can go and stream Enchanted right now if you have a Disney Plus subscription. Okay, so moving on. Gotta because I don't want to get copyright issues. New poster for the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie. I know some people are really torn on the art style of this new movie. I think it's nice. I remember people were comparing it to like the art style of a Peanuts movie. So I kind of like how it blends that art style. And hey Hassan, how you doing? Where it kind of blends that pseudo 3D look of the Peanuts movie with the character designs of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So the new Disney Plus Diary of a Wimpy Kid comes out on December 3rd. I do like the art style, the trailer. I did a trailer reaction a while ago, so not to plug my own trailer reaction, but if you want to go check it out, it is uploaded on my channel. So I will be doing a review of this movie when it comes to Disney Plus. Like I said, it does seem really promising to me. Not to go back to the Jeff Kinney video because I'm kind of worried I might have copyright issues. Next one here. This was actually a bit surprising to me. They're announcing a sequel, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Project Rules. I remember I not only have the book, but I also remember seeing Fox's live action film. I actually saw it in the theater, and my family really liked it, and I really liked it as well. So basically what Disney is saying here, quote, "The rules are simple. Roderick Rules, a new adventure from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise, is coming to Disney Plus. # Disney Plus days." So, so I'm guessing it seems like they're going to be doing another movie. I guess Disney already has enough confidence that they want to do a sequel to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, even though their new movie isn't even out yet. So I'd be curious to check out this and the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie that comes out in December on Disney Plus. So anybody else joining in, let me know your thoughts on any of the announcements that Disney has made today. So moving forward, this might interest if you're a Chip and Dale fan. Hi Andrew, how you doing? I am doing well myself. I am checking out all the Disney Plus Day announcements. What did you think of the announcements that were made on Disney Plus Day? So for Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Disney is saying, quote, a reboot. Wait, did they cross out the word reboot? They're saying, okay, so I guess they're not saying that. Quote, a comeback, 30 years in the making, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, an original movie streaming spring 2022 on Disney Plus. So good news if you're a Chip and Dale fan. Because I remember hearing that Chip and Dale used to have a TV series, and now I guess that they're having like a movie here. So, moving on to... I know some people personally that are fans of Hocus Pocus. They're already right. Luke Evans and the voices of Benjamin, Evan Ainsworth, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan-Michael Key, and Lorraine Bracco. Oh my God, from Goodfellas and The Sopranos, directed by Robert Zemeckis, is coming fall 2022 to Disney Plus. So I think I've even said in previous videos that I'm not one of those people that hates the Disney live-action remakes with a burning passion. I kind of just see them as unnecessary and not as good as the original Disney films they were based on. So, for instance, to go through my thoughts on some of them, I know I've probably been through a lot before, but in case you don't know, let's say, for instance, Lion King remake was all right, but but because they were trying to be like photorealistic, not that it's done badly, but it kind of removes a lot of the creative animation that was in the 1994 film. Beauty and the Beast, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say it is, but it's really fast-paced. Like, it has that kind of by-the-numbers feel of, okay, we gotta Be Our Guest in, we gotta put the wolf scene in, we gotta have the dance scene. Like, it kind of has that kind of, like, going off the checklist feel that I don't really like. And also, Emma Watson's singing voice... One that I do really like was the Cinderella remake. Like, I really like how Kenneth Branagh really put his creative stamp on that movie. So that was one remake that me and my family really liked. I think the only one that I really don't like was the Mulan remake, because I thought the acting was really stilted and just lost a lot of the spirit of the animated Mulan film. And just, yeah, I just thought it was a really boring mess. So, but I hope that's not the same with Pinocchio. I've heard that, like, Robert Zemeckis, like, he can be hit and miss sometimes, like, from what I've heard people say about, like, his Witches movie, for example, that was released on HBO Max. But I still like the movies that I've seen from Zemeckis. I've seen Back to the Future, Forrest Gump. Polar Express was one of those I think had a bit of a mixed response, but I like a lot of the feeling from that movie, as well as Josh Groban's really a great song, Believe. I even like it so much, I literally... when I added my recent iPod to my iPod collection, I added Believe to my music list. I'm basically treating this like it's the Christmas iPod. So you could see here I have Believe playing. So yeah. So I hope that this live action retelling of Pinocchio is good. When I think Robert Zemeckis and Pinocchio, for some reason I think of that really creepy scene from Polar Express, you know, where, like, the scary looking puppets. Sorry, I hit the microphone. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, because I know that Zemeckis could be, like, his movies could have a bit of a creep factor sometimes, or like Judge Doom and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when he was like, when I killed your brother, I talk just like this. I hope you like my impression, and I'm sure my sister downstairs is going to be like, you talk like Judge Doom, didn't you? And just, yeah. So, okay, moving forward. Let's see, Will Smith has a Nat Geo series coming out. Sneakerella. Okay, this one I know is going to be really big in the animation community. So, the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. I remember when Disney Plus was coming out, I think the actor who plays Penny Proud's father said something along the lines of, yeah, this new series is coming to Disney streaming service, but I wasn't really sure what he meant. But now it's pretty clear that yes, the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder is coming to Disney Plus. As they see here, quote, they're louder and prouder and on their way. The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, an original series, starts streaming February 2022 on Disney Plus. So, I don't know too much, admittedly, about the Proud Family. It was kind of like, for me, it was kind of like Power Rangers in the sense that I kind of just watched the episodes to pass the time, so I didn't really pay attention to the show. But I know that the show has a following, like a lot of the classic Disney television animation shows. What the most I'm getting out of this announcement is, between this and the Phineas and Ferb movie that came out a while ago, Phineas and Ferb, Candace Against the Universe, it makes me wonder if this new Proud Family series is successful, would Disney consider rebooting even more of their shows that have a really big following? Not to rip off a bandage, but Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Like, would they do a Star reboot or a movie if something like the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder is successful? So, yeah, so I'm kind of curious about if they're going to do that down the road. As far as I know, there isn't such an announcement here, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe one of these days, if there's another Disney Plus Day years down the road, or another Disney Investor Day, wouldn't it be cool if they announced that they're going to bring Star back or something like that? I mean, they're not as of now, but I'm just saying, in the future, that could be something that would be really interesting and make a lot of people happy. Okay, moving on. High School Musical, the series. This is probably the biggest surprise for me, because I didn't expect Disney to pick up this franchise, the Spiderwick Chronicles. They say here, quote, your field guide to a world of fantasy, the Spiderwick Chronicles, a new live-action original series based on the best-selling books, is coming to Disney Plus, unquote. So, yeah. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Just licensed the Weekenders. I'm not sure what that is, Steven. But Spiderweb Chronicles, like, this was a big surprise for me because I remember when Nickelodeon made a movie based on Spiderwick Chronicles. It starred, like, I remember Freddie Highmore was in it, and they also had Nick Nolte played the villain. I think you pronounced his name Mulgarath. This guy, yeah, and yeah, I remember there was a pretty, like, it was a really thrilling film. If you get the chance, I highly recommend it. So I was kind of surprised. I say I'm surprised because I thought if anybody, Nickelodeon would be the ones that would pick up Spiderwick and like expand upon the franchise. What I'm most interested in knowing about when it comes to Disney Spiderwick though is it going to be like a straightforward adaptation of the Spiderwick Chronicles? Because the original series I think had 5 books in it, and the movie, the Nickelodeon movie, basically like put together plot points from all the books and bunched it together in one movie. Which, to its credit, like it sounds like it would be really messy, but it works really well in terms of a straightforward story. Although I think they skipped one of the books when they were trying to make that one movie. So because now Disney is saying they're going to do an original series, is it going to be like a straightforward adaptation? Is it going to be an expansion on the Spiderwick Chronicles universe? Because the authors of the because I remember there was like a follow-up series for the Spiderwick Chronicles called Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles. Never got around to reading that, but what I'm getting at is that it is possible to expand the universe of the Spiderwick Chronicles. How many times have I said Spiderwick Chronicles in the last 5 minutes? Spiderwick Chronicles, Spiderwick. Say it 5 times fast because I can't do it. But anyway, yeah, so I'd be really curious to see what Disney does with this franchise. So yeah. Next up, there was a announcement on the upcoming series based on the Lucasfilm franchise Willow. That comes out in 2022. To move on, hey, I think I see George Lucas there. Okay, now I'm going to have to jump into even more tweets. So Disney is saying here, quote, "Hello there, visit Disney Plus for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Obi-Wan Kenobi, an original series coming out in 2022. So yeah, I remember hearing about, yeah. I remember hearing about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Steven said, after Artemis Fowl, I'd avoid more movies based on kids' books. I mean, I remember hearing that a Disney version of Artemis Fowl was just atrocious. I think for me, as long as it's put in capable hands, and I mean, even then, Artemis Fowl, it was put in the hands of Kenneth Branagh, who could be kind of hit and miss, but I like his movies. I've seen both Hamlet and I mentioned before Cinderella, so I think as long if it's in capable hands, then I'm at least open to giving it a chance, because I think back to a lot of really good Disney films that were based on books, like when they worked with Walden Media on films like the especially the first 2 Narnia movies like Prince Caspian and Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, or my favorite project they did with Walden Media was Holes, the one with Shia LaBeouf and what's her name, Urfa Kitt. Yeah, I really like. Yeah, that, like, honestly, that was one of my favorite movies that I saw in middle school. So if it's in capable hands, I'd still give it a chance. It's just that I just hope that it's not a piece of junk like that Artemis Fowl movie. Okay, so I know I shouldn't be surprised about this because Cars is a really profitable franchise for um um Disney and Pixar, but now they're saying, quote, "Rev your engines, Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy return to voice Lightning McQueen and Mater in the Disney Plus original series Cars on the Road, streaming in 2022, unquote." Okay, so Moving on, Pixar has a new animated series. Quote, step up to the plate and check out this first look art from Pixar's Win or Lose, an all-new animated series coming to Disney Plus in fall 2023. Dang, that's quite a while away. Okay. Next one, Zootopia Plus. This is another one that I remember talking about a bit during Disney's Investor Day. So, quote, go back to the fast-paced mammal metropolis of Zootopia in Zootopia Plus, a new short-form series coming to Disney Plus in 2022, unquote. And I won't get into my full thoughts on Zootopia. It's funny as I see not to call you out, Steven, but I remember Zootopia was one of the first movies we reviewed, and I remember I was actually really harsh on Zootopia because I didn't think that I wanted the message to be even more unique. I feel like these days if I give the movie another chance, I probably would be more forgiving of it, because I think back to some of the good points that my friends brought up about Zootopia, and I think that they at least hold some water. So I feel like if I gave Zootopia another chance, I still think the message at the end, I really don't like the twist villain in Zootopia at all. I'd even go as far as to say it's my least favorite example of the use of the twist villain in a Disney film. But the message, I think if I watch the movie again, I'd come out saying it's not that it's bad, it's just that I think it could have been more standout. So, but regardless of my opinion on the original Zootopia movie, I hope that this new series is really good. Keep going. And speaking of shows that I mentioned when I talked about the Disney Investor Day, Tiana, quote, hashtag Tiana, first look concept art, looks really good. The new long-form musical series directed and written by Stella Majaya, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that right, comes to Disney Plus in 2023. The series followed newly crowned Princess of Maldonia on a new adventure, but her New Orleans past isn't far behind. So, haven't gotten around to see the Princess and the Frog movie. I heard it's really good. Yeah, Steven said, I've definitely cooled on Zootopia over time. I didn't like the twist either. Yeah, I wonder if I watched it again, I'd come out saying that the twist villain was the worst thing. There are some, I know, Steven, you've said before you think the twist villain is overused. Some Disney movies, I think, use the twist villain pretty well. I like how the twist villain was used in movies like Frozen and even Coco. I like how it turned out. I like the big twist where, actually, I probably shouldn't spoil the twist from Coco, because it wasn't just the twist villain, but also one of the characters that Miguel meets actually turns out to be of great importance to him, which I won't spoil here if you haven't seen Coco, but to me, it's a trope that can be done well. It's just that it didn't work for me in Zootopia, because the character, even though, yeah, it's an unexpected character, I think for me it was just that it just didn't seem like that character, it seemed really out of place to turn that person into a twist. And the motivation behind that was really, I think it just undermined the message, the way the character was going around doing the evil plan, if you will. So, okay, so I'm done mentioning Zootopia. I don't want to turn this into a Zootopia, trash pit, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I like the concept art here. I remember I'm hearing about the music in The Princess and the Frog. I haven't sat down to watch the movie, but one song I really like from Princess and the Frog was Almost There. I think it has a really great beat, and it can be legitimately motivating. So, yeah, maybe I have to sit down and watch the film one of these days. It looks really well animated, from what I've seen, from The Princess and the Frog. So I hope at least some of that carries over to Tiana. Okay, moving on. Oh, wow, X-Men Original Series. Quote, we've missed you too. See you in 2023 with all new episodes of X-Men 97 on Disney Plus coming in 2023. Yeah, so good news if you're an X-Men fan. And now we come to a bunch of Marvel shows. Moon Knight, She-Hulk. I remember hearing a lot about She-Hulk. Miss Marvel, What If Season 2. I've heard about What If. I prefer Friends on the Other Side. Yeah, I've heard about Friends on the Other Side. It was the villain song from Princess and the Frog. Marvel Studios Echo, Spider-Man Freshman Year, I Am Groot. I will say I have seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, so I remember Groot was one of my favorite characters. I remember like my dad was kind of quizzing me on the very end where I won't say the exact line in case you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but there's one part of the movie where Groot doesn't just say I am Groot, because throughout the movie he constantly says that, but there's one part of the movie where he diverts from that. And I remember like yeah, it was one of the more heartfelt scenes from that movie. So yeah, so good news if you're a fan of Marvel or Guardians of the Galaxy. And Drew, oh nice, that's so awesome. Spiderwick is getting made. I can't wait for Spiderwick. I wish I can go to YouTube to make videos. I really talk the movies I grew up with. I like to do movie reviews and stuff, which yeah, I genuinely recommend. Like I'm sure you would do really well, Andrew. Have you heard of have you read the Spiderwick Chronicles books or watched the Nickelodeon movie? I remember as a kid, I actually read all the Spiderwick Chronicles books as a kid, although this was back when the Nickelodeon movie came out. I think me and my mom had some kind of deal where if I read all the books, I would get to go see the movie in theaters because it looked interesting to me. Yeah, and you also said, I'm so looking forward to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, though. Steven says, Volume 2 is legit their best movie. Like, you mean like legit best MCU movie? Haven't actually seen Volume 2, unfortunately, but I would check it out one of these days. And Drew said, maybe one of these days I'll do movie reviews and movie news, and I like to do Why Lee Punisher 2 with Thomas Jane was never gotten made. I saw it online. So, yeah, it takes a bit of practice in terms of, like, doing the research and developing, like, your sort of, like, a style in terms of how you approach, movie and movie reviews or movie news, but when you get it down through experience, it's legitimately good stuff to do. Yeah, so carrying on, because I say the word too much. Ironheart, Agatha, House of Harkness, Marvel Zombies, Secret Invasion. Wonder if there's even more. Stop the video. Yeah. I know about Ciao Alberto, the new short bait that's inspired by Luca. Huh. Is that it? Because beyond here is just the comments section, which, I mean, for privacy reasons, I'm not going to show that. Let me see. I mean, not that I could really show the video, but they just kind of have a teaser video showing like some more of the content. If my internet stops acting up. And I can't get it to work, but yeah. Because I was thinking maybe if Disney had some kind of tweet saying, and these are our announcements for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll go through their Twitter page just to be sure I got everything. Let's see here. If there are any other announcements that I didn't get to talk about, you could let me know. See a tweet regarding Shang-Chi. Putting Disney characters in The Simpsons. I remember hearing that they put Bill Cipher in The Simpsons, and he was saying something about like investing in cryptocurrency. Andrew says, I love Zootopia, the short form series. It sounds like it's going to be super awesome and super fun. Thank you so much for sharing this to us, Bobby. You're totally welcome. Were you a fan of the original Zootopia film, Andrew? Yeah, because I think that's where at least on my end, that's where it sort of ends for me. Because now I'm just basically going through Disney's Twitter, and it seems like the other announcements are not regarding Disney Plus Day. Um, but if so, then I guess that's about it. So yeah, that has been the my look at the announcements from Disney Plus Day. Again, I didn't want to go through everything because there were some announcements that I don't have much to say. So I really wanted to focus on either announcements that really got me excited or those that I could at least talk at some sort of length. So yeah, so I think for me, my personal favorite announcements were regarding the release window for Pinocchio. Disenchanted was also a really big one for me, and seeing a bit more about what Disney is going to do with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. You guys can let me know in the chat what were your favorite announcements, and even the ones that were ones I just kind of heard about and sort of wanted to bring up were pretty big too. Like they were announcing the release window for the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, and Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and all the new Disney Plus shows like Baymax Plus, Tiana, and Zootopia Plus, or at least most of them, I should say. So yeah, I'll keep this chat going on for maybe say 5 more minutes in case anybody else in the chat would like to talk about their thoughts on the announcements from Disney Plus Day, or if we're gonna start going off topic and just talking about whatever. As far as the what Disney has released, I know for sure the next review I'm gonna do is of Home Sweet Home Alone. Not because I'm really hyped to see it. Well, mainly because I don't just want to review movies that I really like. I also want to kind of balance things out. I sometimes get really insecure and think, oh, I just only talk about the things that I like and things like that. So, but that is gonna be the next one but Home Sweet Home Alone, regardless of how I feel, is going to be the next review I'm doing because of my familiarity with the first two Home Alone movies, still among my favorite Christmas movies to this day, and I kind of want to see what they're up to because I get the sense that Home Alone has this reputation where it's kind of like a Terminator or Alien, where the first two movies people seem to like and the rest of the sequels are just kind of like junk, if you will. Even Home Alone 2, I know there's some people who think that it's too similar, which, yeah, I get that, some of the plot points or characters are really similar. Like, you kind of get the sense that, okay, the Bird Lady is taking the place of Old Man Marley, and they bring back or at least they make, a sequel to Angels with Filthy Souls, and of course, Harry and Marv go through the traps. But I still like the second one because the updates in themselves, I think, are strong enough to make it a really funny movie. I like the sort of the hotel staff that goes after Kevin, or even a lot of the traps in the second movie. I think are legitimately funny, if extreme. Like when Harry dips his head in kerosene and causes that big explosion, or when Marv gets electrocuted and you see his skeleton and things like that. So at least the second movie, I still think it's at least worth one watch, if you will. but I'm not sure if I could really say the same about Home Sweet Home Alone until I check it out. Andrew, what'd you say? Oh yeah, are you a big fan of the old Punisher movie with Thomas Jane and John Travolta? The first movie is a very great movie. I'm so excited for the X-Men animated series. I'm not too familiar with Punisher. I haven't seen any of the movies, but I'm glad to hear that you're excited for the X-Men animated series. Like, I'm really like casual when it comes to Marvel. I don't really follow the MCU. I just kind of watch the movies when given the opportunity. Like, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy because my sister really liked the first movie, so she convinced me and my dad to go check it out. And I saw Black Panther mainly because of the hype. Like I wanted to see if it was as good as people said it was. And I will say that it was. I really like how the story was told. I mean, yeah, I mean it's kind of a familiar sort of story in terms of you got the hero who's taking over for his father, and there's a villain who wants to take over. But it was legitimately investing, and I really like how the story was told. So I do like the first Black Panther film. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But yeah, it's cool that we get along and even though we like different franchises. But hey, that's why I like coming on here. I like talking about the franchises I'm really into, as well as hearing what you all have been up to and what you think about all these announcements coming out of Disney Plus. Ooh, I think I'll keep going for maybe until 6:23 in case anybody else has thoughts. Which don't be shy. Let me know what you think of the announcements to come out of Disney Plus Day. I think the more recent release that I'm excited for would probably be Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the animated film. I think my sister saw the first live action movie and didn't think it was very good. But the second one, I think it got mixed reviews, but I liked Roderick, the live action Roderick Rules movie. Maybe I'll show that. Like, I know that Disney put up some kind of calendar regarding their releases. I'll see if I could find it. Should be around here. It's quicker if I go back to their main page. Oh, cool. Andrew said that you've got the first Zootopia movie at home. What would you say was your favorite scene or moment from the first Zootopia? Okay, oh, found the calendar. So, Andrew said you want there to be a wow, that is huge. A Zootopia sequel. There is going to be a short series made. If there was a Zootopia sequel, what would you like to have happen? I can't get it to work like this. Actually, it's probably the height of my unprofessionalism, but give me a moment to sort of recompose, if you will. 'Cause this is really big stuff. So if you're interested in seeing what's available or coming to Disney Plus, so some of the more recent releases on Disney Plus include, I already mentioned Home Sweet Home Alone. I'm gonna review that. And then there's also The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Olaf Presents Ciao Alberto. That's the one that the short that was inspired by the Pixar film Luca, which I thought Luca was a really engaging film. The only problem I have with it was, again, I kind of wish they would do like throw in some more surprises. It's a really well told story, really well animated. I even kind of teared up at the end for reasons I won't give away, but I think I could have used some more surprises. Andrew, are you saying that some of the new cast members for X-Men '97 are Ray Chase and Jennifer Hale? I know. I think Jennifer Hale. That was the actor who played Miss Keen from the Powerpuff Girls, right? The teacher. I think she also played Naomi from the Metal Gear Solid games. What else is there? Under the Helmet, The Legacy of Boba Fett, Marvel Studios 2021, and Pixar's Disney Plus Day specials. The Making of Shang-Chi, Hawkeye. I remember hearing a lot about Hawkeye. The Making of Happier Than Ever, A Love Letter to Los Angeles, Intertwined. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. And Entralazados. And then the finale of Doogie Kame Aloha MD. And then also new to Disney Plus are Jungle Cruise and Shang-Chi, the new Marvel movie. Andrew said, to me, Home Alone sequels is not even needed. It should just leave it alone. To me, the challenge of doing any sort of Home Alone sequel is, it's kind of like what I should make this comparison because Luca is a really good movie, but I'm not really sure where exactly they can go with the Home Alone franchise. It feels like they were already tapped out of ideas after the first two movies, so I'm not really sure what they can do. Even the premise of Home Sweet Home Alone, my problem with the premise is it feels really similar, like too similar to the first movie in terms of you got this kid character that doesn't get along with his family. He gets left behind and says a line really similar to when Kevin said, I made my family disappear, except he said, they don't even know I'm here. And the family is going to Tokyo, even though I kind of get the sense that it may be, yeah, okay, different country, but I'm wondering, I mean, if they could have just, like, they may as well have picked, like, I don't know, Paris as Venice, Beijing, Seoul, or Singapore. Like, it could be anywhere as long as, hey, it's out of town, basically. And then also, the kid has to come up with a battle plan. There are these robbers that are coming to try to break into the house. The kid has to set up traps. Like, it feels almost like it almost feels like they copy pasted the premise of the first movie and just changed it up enough for it to be different, but really it feels really similar. I really hope that the new Home Sweet Home Alone like does some different things. The one thing I liked from the trailer was seeing, I think, because I remember I looked up after I saw that there was going to be a McAllister in the movie, and when I did the research on IMDb, it said it was the actor who played Buzz, Kevin's scary brother from the first two movies. And so my theory was that it seems like Buzz is going to play the police officer. So I like how it's sort of a nod to the first movie in that respect, and that, hey, they literally got an actor that played one of the McAllisters, and it looks like he's going to reprise his role. So I would like to see them do a thing where, even if I mean, this is speculation and theorizing, but I kind of think it would be cool if they where if they were gonna like borrow the old man Marley trope, which don't get me wrong, the old man Marley is a really heartfelt character, but if they were going to borrow from that and do the thing where like I would like it if they did the thing where they make Buzz into like this kind of scary character that scares the protagonist, but as time goes on, the kid figures out that, oh, this character, is looking out for me. And if he says a line, like if Buzz says a line like, no, wow, I haven't seen like traps this elaborate since my brother, or something that would imply Kevin, I think that would actually be really neat. Like it would be a genuinely nice nod to the first two movies. So I don't know if that's what they're gonna do. Like, this is a big disclaimer. This is just me theorizing and just like hoping that they do something like that. So yeah. So, but I will review Home Sweet Home Alone. Yeah, and you said I'd rather stick to watching the two Home Alone movies. They do release of the first two Home Alone movies in theaters, kind of like the Star Wars special edition. And yeah, because at my house, Home Alone has kind of become a family tradition, kind of like Christmas Story, where it's like the movie that, like, especially my dad and sister really, really like. I remember I went on this trip to the Grand Canyon with my family, and Freeform was showing Home Alone 2, and we just had a good time watching Harry and Marv go through the traps. So even though it was summer in the Grand Canyon, it was still a lot of fun to watch. I love Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They're so super funny and awesome. Chris Pratt as Star-Lord and Rocket, Bradley Cooper. They have great chemistry. I can't wait for the third movie. Speaking of Chris Pratt, Andrew, have you heard that he's going to play Mario and Garfield? Yeah, so it's not that I'm saying in that like, oh, I don't understand why people are hating on Home Sweet Home Alone. I know that the trailer, in fact, I'll give you an update. How's the trailer doing? Because I remember the first time I saw the trailer for Home Sweet Home Alone, it was getting ratioed on YouTube. Yeah, it's still ratioed. It has like 24,000 dislikes and 92,000. I mean, 24,000 likes and 92,000 dislikes, excuse me. So, yes, but that is going to be the next movie that I review. Yep, so yeah, so since I kind of went on about Home Sweet Home Alone, now I'll say that I'll give the stream an additional 5 more minutes in case anybody else wants to give their thoughts on the Disney Plus Day announcements. All right, so last minute for anybody else who would like to share their thoughts on Disney Plus Day. All right, so I'm gonna end for now. So thank you for everybody who checked out this Disney Plus Day stream where I talked about my thoughts on my favorite announcements, and for those that I also thought I had a thing or two to say. So thanks for all your support. If you enjoyed the stream, give it a like and subscribe to the Blood Moon Bobby YouTube channel. If you're watching this in the future and would like to give your thoughts on the announcements, please feel free to do so in the comments. Until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching.